Vernacular Vision brings you in Broad Day magazine. Brotherhood series. The 5-Star Faces Business section. Greetings. I am Vanessa, a social construct who asks people questions that are trending in society. Today, my makers and I will interview Dontez Akram, an entrepreneur from Ohio.
Yo, it's your boy Tez, and you're with me in Broad Day with Vernacular Vision.
What has being an entrepreneur done for you, in terms of self-empowerment?
I think with financial literacy and entrepreneurship as a whole, I think what it did for me is it gave me knowledge to, educate my people and the culture that I do it for. When you come from a city like Cleveland, there's a lot of different things that are going on. So to have opportunities, you got to have the knowledge to make sure you can execute those accordingly. So I think that's what, financial stability and, entrepreneurship did for me.
What mentality has your diverse career given you? And how does this mentality help you to conquer adversities in life?
So the mentality that this was able to give me was to remain a hustler and a sponge to the game at all times. I think one of the biggest things that, this taught me as a whole is to never give up and to dream bigger than you've ever dreamed before. If you have very, very small dreams, then you're never going to be able to, teach and, reach levels where, you're changing things on a bigger scale. So my biggest goal is to change the world, one step and one day at a time. So, yeah.
During the era of COVID-19, what are the biggest hurdles that you've been personally met with?
So during the era of COVID-19, I think what it really taught me is that waiting for somebody else to pay you and having some type of security is not okay. I think, making sure that you're able to increase your own income with your skill sets and your knowledge is very, very valuable in itself, and it's priceless because at the end of the day, knowledge is something that can be passed down from not only you, but to generation. So I'm all about generational wealth, and having that knowledge is very powerful.
Looking back on your life, when would you say is the most critical point in forming who you are, in terms of standing out and pursuing your dream?
I think the point in my life that brought me those things was just growing up in Cleveland, honestly, and back probably when I was 16, 17 playing basketball, I wasn't the most athletic person, and that's something that I had to come to terms with, which was, I'm not gonna be that person that's in the NBA or anything like that, but what I can do is out-hustle every single person on the team. So when you running, it's the same thing like Nipsey said, it's a marathon, not a race. When you running, there's gonna be a lot of different people by your side, left and right. And at the end of the day, as long as you outwork them, and as long as you keep your eyes on the goal and you try to finish, that's the best thing that you can possibly do.
To anyone at a similar point in their life, what would you say matters most?
I think what matters most is your passion for what you do. If you're doing something and you're not passionate about it, if you don't love it, at the end of the day, you're gonna become a slave to it. And what I've learned is you gotta find your passion in what you love. The grind is real. So if you're not passionate about it during your grind, man, you're gonna fall off eventually. So you gotta stay passionate about what you do and, remain a hustler throughout every single, up and down.
We are living through a major turning point in history. Some people are looking forward to the future, while others are more nostalgic, based on their sense of style or character. If you were forced to choose between being the first to comfortably live on Mars, or living your life as any celebrity on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, deceased or living, which would you choose?
I think I would definitely choose being a celebrity, and the celebrity that I would choose would be Nipsey Hussle. I think he's probably one of the most powerful souls to ever walk the earth, and he's taught me so much just from interviews and from music. It changed my perspective on life and how I go about things, and not just life, but how to be a man and a father at that. So, I think I would definitely be, Nipsey Hussle, and the way he's been able to change the world through his words and through his interviews and through his music, I think it's so powerful, man. So I would definitely be Nipsey Hussle if I could.
If there were no social media tomorrow, what would people do?
Man, if there is no social media tomorrow, I think people will continue to start drama, live life day to day, do all of the different things that, they do right now, even on social media, just wouldn't be broadcasted. I still think a lot of the bad stuff that happened in the world would still be going on. I think a lot of the good still would be going on as well. But with social media, it definitely gets broadcasted to everybody and everybody who has a social media account. So, you know, if people didn't have social media, they would still be living their life, still create drama, still create problems, you know, still create excuses for why they can't get up and, you know, make a better situation for themselves and their family. So that's what I think would, you know, be going on if there was no social media.
If you could live forever, what is one thing you would love to be able to see?
If I could live forever, honestly, I would want to just see my culture prosper, you know, be that lasting impact on the earth that, you know, helps the African American culture, you know, push and strive forward to be the best that we can possibly be. So if I could live forever, I would definitely love to see all of those different things and to see how we evolve over time. I would love to see that.
Do you think that technology will eventually override faith? If not, explain why. But if so, how do you think it will happen?
I think technology has a very big role in society nowadays. I think faith is in itself has a very big impact on our society as well, and that's through all races and cultures. You know, having some type of faith, you know, is definitely powerful for anybody. But I think, you know, with technology working its way up and you know, slowly becoming something that's more, you know, dominant in our cultures and our societies, I think, you know, they're both going to work hand in hand, you know, continuously throughout time. I do think people will start to lose faith, you know, with more technology, but, you know, as long as those pure ones stay, you know, pure, then, you know, it's going, you know, weather the storm for them.
What is one thing you've always wanted to try?
One thing I've always wanted to try was skydiving. I'm all about living life on the edge. I'm a very risky person, even when it comes to my finances. I make very, very risky decisions that sometimes pay off, sometimes don't. But I would definitely go skydiving.
When you feel like quitting, what pushes you?
So when I feel like quitting, I honestly think about my daughter. You know, growing up in Cleveland and having a kid at 18 is not, you know, an easy situation or something that you can just handle on your own. And, you know, I believe the saying that it takes a village to, you know, actually build up a child and make sure that they're successful. So I think when I feel like, you know, quitting or, you know, just giving up in general, I think, you know, of my daughter and, you know, how much she needs me and how I have to put food on the table. And when you have a bigger why than just yourself, then, you know, you're able to accomplish the world.
Module complete.
It's your boy Dontez Akram. You guys were with me in Broad Day on Vernacular Vision.